Hello, this is HBM's Crypto-Corner for Wednesday, February 17th, 2016. It's going to be kind of a short show this week. We don't have a whole lot of news items to talk about, but we do have a few. So let's go ahead and get started. Researcher Tracy Arnold from the state of Virginia was recently on the ECBRO podcast. He talked about his encounter. Now, I've heard him talk about his encounter. Very fascinating stuff. And he's a good guy, and I think that he is having some kind of interactions with these creatures, or at least sightings. I mean, he had an encounter, which I'm sure shook him to his core. And believe me, when you have an encounter or you have a sighting, that's what it does. It shakes you to your core. Makes you realize there are things beyond our world that we just don't understand. There are things in our world that we don't understand. Dr. Brian Sykes has released the follow-up to his first book, which was called The Nature of the Beast. And it was about his experiments into the DNA, his genetic coding of the DNA that was sent to him, the samples that were sent to him. Well, he's released a new book, a follow-up, called Bigfoot, Yeti, and the Last Neanderthal, a geneticist's search for modern ape men. Now, I have not read or received his first book yet. I would love to. I would love to actually read both his books. So, I can't give an opinion on either one of these books. I have not read them, but should be interesting. Dr. Sykes, he caught some flack from some members of the Bigfoot community, but overall, I think he did us a service. And he's applying science to this. He's not applying what you might call wishful thinking, or he did not insert his own opinion into it. He didn't insert his own belief into it. He utilized science, which is what you're supposed to do. For those who have not had the pleasure of hearing Bob Gimlin speak in person, well, especially about the Patterson-Gimlin film, the day that he and Roger stumbled across the Sasquatch, well, here's the next best thing. A video from the Bigfoot Diaries. His first thoughts on what happened that day. And this is from the recent Hopsquatch event held by Guy Edwards. So, for those who have never seen Bob in person, never heard him speak about October 20th, 1967, this will get you pretty close. And of course, I mean, Bob, he's an icon in this field. No question about it. He is definitely an icon. And he's so well regarded and so well looked up to. And I think it's all well deserved, in my opinion. Our final story today goes back a few years, back to 2012. There was an ancient skeleton found in Rome, supposedly of a giant. It was 6'8". And apparently this individual that the skeleton came from was a sufferer of gigantism. Now, gigantism is something that affects individuals. You have your acromegaly, which affected the late Andre the Giant, and it also for a brief time affected the Big Show, but he had that gland removed from his brain. So the Big Show is not going to have to worry about suffering the effects of acromegaly. I mean, Andre the Giant, he he didn't live very long. I mean, he only lived to be 46, I believe it was. And he died in his sleep while he was attending his father's funeral, which obviously was very ironic. The fact that he would be there to attend his father's funeral and he passed away himself. So, but there are people who have this disease and they don't usually live very long. I mean, they're lucky if they make it to age 50. Anyhow, a very fascinating article, and they found the complete skeleton of this Roman individual. So fascinating stuff. Oh, and tonight you might want to check out our special Looking for Bigfoot News Hour edition. We're going to have a very special guest. We're going to have Jesus Jr. He's a Bigfooter from New Mexico. He's also interested in other subjects like UFOs and the paranormal and things like that. Now, his name might not be familiar, but one of his characters is, and that is Nodos/Gonzo from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. So yes, he's going to be on Looking for Bigfoot News Hour tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. And that'll be at right here on YouTube, and it'll be on Skinner 1472 channel, the Looking for Bigfoot channel. So I recommend you guys check it out because he is a cool guy, and it's going to be a great interview. We're going to have a great time talking to him. And also, check out, I got to keep plugging these guys, creaturereplica.com. Got to check them out. They're great. The figures are great. The company is great. Can't say enough good things about the guys at Creature Replica. And matter of fact, today is Gene St. Jean's birthday, so we want to send a special shout out to him. A special happy birthday to Gene St. Jean. Of course, one of the co-founders of Creature Replica. And that's going to do it for this week. Not too many new announcements that have come out, but I'm sure they'll be changing before too long. But we're very appreciative and very thankful for you guys and for you guys tuning in. Next week is going to be our second special edition where we're going to focus on one particular aspect of the Sasquatch mystery. Can't say what it is yet, but you guys are going to love it. You're going to be surprised. So until then, y'all be good or be good at it. This is May-HBM's Crypto Corner.